Hello, my loves. It is Rockette Fox, as always, which makes me think I'm always Rockette Fox. If you were coming here expecting to see someone else, don't know what to tell you. You're stuck with me. And as of today, Hige as well. We are enjoying the beautiful 50, lower mid 50 degrees January 1st weather, question mark, which may not be that strange in some places, but in the old Midwest, it's a little unusual. But anyway, I wanted to come to you today as the first of 2023 and first and foremost wish you a very, very happy new year. And I don't know, come with some good wishes. Yeah, I feel like everything pretty much since 2020 has been a little bit of a challenge, a little rough, as it were, universally. And, I'll be real, probably since a couple of years before that, I've been in a little bit of a fugue space. But yeah, I think especially in the time that we're in now, it's very easy for it to go from, yay, we've made it to another year, to, well, I didn't quite get done what I hoped I would last year, and not really sure what to expect from this coming year, which, you know what, I think is fair, I think is normal, just given everything that we are experiencing in this broadly gestures around. But one thing I wanted to share that I've been kind of taking with me as we move forward, and I'm trying to really hold fast to as we enter into this new year. I know historically, traditionally, for a lot of people, there's the idea of New Year's resolutions and all this kind of thing, which, for those of you out there who are able to stick with that and do it, that is amazing, and if I had any free hands, I would give you a patented golf clap. However, for the rest of us, it can be really challenging. It can be really hard, and it can become much more disheartening, especially when you fall a little bit short. And I'll be real, for myself, not even relegated just to New Year's. When I have any sort of goals or anything like that and I don't completely ace it, I get a little hard on myself. One of the things I was really wanting to do this past year is start getting back in shape. Gained a little bit of poundage, little stress pounds. Plus, I did switch medications, which the particular one I switched to didn't do me any favors, at least in terms of weight and stuff like that. When we were visiting my sister-in-law and her husband in the house that they built with their own two hands on a beautiful mountaintop in Oregon, who, by the way, both of them were like, near Olympic grade athletes at Stanford, and all of this. Very, very impressive and super sweet, amazing, nice people. Come on, bye. Nope, not going that way. But I remember we were up there, and of course, sister-in-law and her husband regularly work out in the shed gym that they built. So I go in there, my husband's in there, and this is a family that is, active, fit, natural swimmers, etc. So we go in there to work out, and my husband and his sister are doing actual workout things. Her not even 2-year-old is doing actual workout things, and I'm over here just slow pedaling on this bike, stationary, wasn't actually circling the room or anything like that. And I happened to mention, oh, y'all are doing actual real workouts while I'm just kind of pedaling on this stationary bike. And she said something that I have been kind of carrying with me as time has gone on. And she said, anything is better than nothing, and she meant that as far as working out, like any movement is better than just being stationary. Not in the way that the bike is, because that was probably for the best. I don't know if she meant for that to necessarily be like a lifelong statement that I've been really hanging my hat on in many instances. But it ended up it ended up being something that I've really held on to quite a bit. I found that in times when I'm not really performing, quote unquote, or doing what I'm really wanting to do, expecting, I'm going to be incredibly real with you. This past year, 2022, has probably been one of the hardest years that I have experienced. There's been a lot of challenges, a lot of kind of personal stressors, changes, things like that. It's been really challenging, which has definitely not helped with the depressive levels. Come on. Hi. And I deal with clinical depression and now diagnosed light ADHD. Situations definitely compound that sort of thing, and for me tend to make it a lot more challenging, which I imagine it does for a lot of people who deal with mental health challenges. It's been a lot harder for me to kind of get on the horse, as it were. Well, if it were a horse, I'd probably get on much quicker and more willingly than horses and horseback riding. I've always had a hard time getting things done, but it's been even harder. What I tend to think and where I tend to go in my brain is, if, I'm not going to get something where I can really feel the success of the benefits, where it's not going to be something big, something that's really made a huge dent in something I'm trying to do. A lot of times for me, I feel like, well, why even bother? Just doing this a little bit's not gonna really change anything. If I clean up this one corner of the table, what difference does it make? Speaking of horses, I feel like I've heard this saying before. How do you eat a horse? No, an elephant. It goes an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It can be very tempting to feel like, oh, I need to get a lot done, or else it's not worth doing. And that's just not true. And I think for myself, I'm wanting to kind of go into this coming year with the idea that even doing a little bit is doing something. And for anyone who may need to hear it, want to give you permission to do the same as well. If you have something you're wanting to get done and you can only muster up from the deep depths of your soul the energy or the gumption to do just a little bit, it's okay. And that should be celebrated, because sometimes it can take just as much energy to get started on something small and a little piece of something as it takes to get an entire huge chunk of something done. So yeah, from my sister-in-law to me to you, something, anything, even if it's little, is better than nothing. You've got this. Happy New Year, and sending lots of love your way. Catch you soon.